What is up, Discovery Student Ministries YouTube page? We are back with another Drink or Sink. This is volume 2. We are continuing the bracket to figure out what soda is the best soda. Now, the last one that we posted a couple weeks ago, we actually recorded a whole year ago. And so some of those sodas are no longer available. Now, if you remember, if you didn't watch it, go back and watch it now. But in our previous video, Starlight Coke Advanced, that doesn't exist anymore. And the couple cans we had left were a year old and they expired. So what we're gonna do today to get things started is we are pitting up a new limited edition Coke called Coke Move against a limited edition Pepsi called Pepsi Peeps. So let's give it a try. We'll start off. Let's start with your left hand, which is the Pepsi Peeps. Eric and Grady, why don't you get us going?
All right.
Let's go.
Okay. Thoughts on the Peepsy? It's okay. The marshmallow flavor is there. It's so weird. It's really weird.
The smell is like a
Oh my gosh.
bubblegummy toothpaste.
It does taste like Peeps. I'll give it that.
I do not like this.
It's okay.
All right. I'm going to talk about this one for a minute. First of all, I don't get the Peeps in it at all. I grew up loving Peeps all the time. I would eat every single one of them. This tastes like what would happen if you took a can of Pepsi and you just left it out to ferment for a while. So you went back like 2 weeks later and this Pepsi was just poured and like sitting in your garage or something in the summer. And then you come back and try and drink it. And so it's flat, it's gross. And then you think like, there's something unique about this that shouldn't be there. I think that's the Peeps. So I don't know. What do you guys think over there?
Yeah, so I've had quite a bit of this already, but it tastes like normal Pepsi, like when it first touches your tongue. And then it starts to, it sits in your mouth for a little bit, and then it tastes like the vitamins that dentists put on your teeth at the end of your dentist appointment. That's what it tastes like.
Like the fluoride?
Yeah, the fluoride.
Okay.
It tastes like the fluoride that they put in your teeth after a dentist appointment. No Peep. That's bad.
I actually thought that it was kind of good, but then it turned bad. Like, it kind of tasted like marshmallows, but bad marshmallows.
Let's go the Coke Move. Elliot, start us off.
That's pretty good. I don't know exactly what it tastes like, but it tastes sweet. It tastes fine. It's fine.
Yeah, this is really good. Not a huge dark soda drinker. I prefer Sprite. But that's really good. You get the normal Coke. I don't know what other flavors are in it, but it's enjoyable. I still have some of the taste from the Pepsi Peep in my mouth, which I'm sure doesn't increase its flavor that much or make it taste how it normally does. But that's really good. I enjoyed the Coke Move a lot.
Had an aftertaste.
All right. Again, it tastes flat to me. And that's the problem with a lot of these limited edition weird flavored sodas. To me, the additional flavor they're adding takes away from the high quality soda. So I don't get that this tastes like regular Coke. I feel like this tastes like Great Value Cola with some flavor added to it. Now, the can says it's transformation flavored. So I've never really tasted transformation, but if this is what it tastes like, I think we need to improve it a little bit. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it definitely tasted really flat. It also smells like a little cinnamony, if that's the word.
Okay.
Cinnamon.
I don't know who comes up with these weird flavor ideas for Coca-Cola, like transformation, space, starlight. It's super weird. And it tastes okay at first, and then you drink it and the aftertaste is literally just water. It's really, really flat, and I'm just not a fan.
I think the aftertaste is more cardboard.
All right, Eric, which one's advancing?
I would choose the Peepsy.
Grady?
Coke Move.
Elliot?
I would choose the transformation one.
I'm with Coke Move as well.
Okay, as much as I disliked both, I was going to go the Peepsy, as Eric calls it, just because Peeps bring back some childhood nostalgia, but it looks like the Coke move advances to take the place of Coke Starlight. Now, our bracket is where it needs to be, so we're going to move on to the next round as we are currently in our Elite 8 of the Soda Bracket Challenge. Drink or sink. We'll be right back. All right, so for this round, we have IBC Root Beer versus Cherry 7-Up. We're going to start with the root beer, and we'll start over with Mason giving us his opinion.
Guys, I love IBC root beer so much. I'm just going to say that. IBC root beer is one of my favorite just sodas in general. I'm a huge root beer guy, just like my dad. And IBC is just, it's so good.
It's really good. It's like good root beer. Like you can tell when a root beer is like, it's root beer, but then there's these root beers that are like, that's root beer.
All right, Eric, Grady, what do you guys think?
Y'all, I've never had IBC, and this is like a shocking revelation for me. No, I've never had it, and it's like really shocking because it's like really good. It's like not like the mug or like Barks that you would get in like a restaurant. It's like really good.
Honestly, I have no idea what makes this so different, but it just is, and it makes it so much better.
It's really good.
Yeah, so as a root beer connoisseur, if you will, IBC is kind of a go-to because it's available all over the place. It's not too expensive, and it's just got all the classic flavors that you want out of it. Now we're going to go on to the Cherry 7-Up. Grady, get us going with this one.
Whoa. That just hit me with a bunch of flavor as soon as I took a sip. It definitely smells like cherry, but there's so much like carbonation and bubbles that you can't even taste it. Like it just explodes in your face.
I'm not getting the same things you're getting, like at all. It's not notable. It's just boring. It's pink. That's like the only interesting thing about this.
All right, yeah, it's definitely giving off the pink vibes because that is the color of it. Good observation there, Eric. Yeah, it's super sweet, and that's actually a little bit of a turnoff for me on this, is the cherry almost overwhelms the 7-Up, where you have like a cherry Coke or a cherry Pepsi, and you still get some of that original flavor, and then the cherry on top. This just feels like it's all cherry forward. But it's not bad. If you want something super sweet, this is a good drink to go with.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to agree with Eric that it's just kind of boring. It also, if you smell really good, it smells like Hall's cherry-flavored cough drops. And that's a put-off for me. If anything smells like medicine, if a soda smells like medicine or tastes like medicine, it's a bad soda. That's a put-off for me. And Cherry 7-Up is just one of those. I am not a huge fan of this.
So I actually really liked it. Like I couldn't taste the 7-Up, but it felt like a cherry bomb, like carbonated cherry juice. And then so it's a lot different than the root beer. So it's kind of hard to compare them. So yeah.
So Elliot, which one's going to advance based upon these two? I know they're hard to compare.
I think I'll have to vote with the IBC root beer.
Mason?
Root beer all the way.
Root beer for me. Grady?
Here.
Easiest decision ever, IBC.
That is a complete demolition of Cherry 7-Up. IBC root beer is advancing. We'll move on to our next bracket. All right, now this matchup is another interesting one because we have a dark cola versus a light beverage. And so we're pitting Jarritos Lime up against Wild Cherry Pepsi. This will be super interesting to see what advances. Grady and Eric, get us going on this one.
Which
All right.
one?
Jarritos Lime to start.
Yarritos.
I'm really excited for this one. Okay.
I love Yarritos.
Whoa. There's something like I really like about it. It's not like overly sweet. It's like tangy and it has like a different flavor to it that's like I wouldn't expect in a soda, a light one at that. It's really good. It's not like too sweet.
Yeah. There's like a specific aftertaste. I don't know exactly what it tastes like, but it's just so good to just sit there in your mouth. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I think I agree with what you guys are saying. There's that tanginess. It's not overwhelming in your face. I could use a little bit more bubbles, but it could be this is just an older bottle, and so maybe it's gone flat a little bit, but the flavor is great.
Guys, Yarritos Lime, probably one of my favorite sodas. I love light sodas. I'm a sucker for light sodas. But what I love about Yarritos Lime, like everybody else down the line said, is that it's tangy and it's not overwhelming the flavor. And you can just kind of like let it sit in your mouth and let the bubbles just kind of like pop in your mouth. And I love that sensation so much. And Yarritos Lime is, I think, just a perfect candidate for that sensation, I guess.
Okay, so at first, it looked nuclear and bright, so it didn't look very promising. But then, like, I tried it, and it tasted pretty good, actually. It was like, it's almost like I can taste it, and it's, like, almost there. But it tastes really good.
Nice. I love that description, Elliot, that it was like nuclear to look at. So as it's been sitting on my tongue a little bit longer, the aftertaste I'm getting, I actually don't enjoy it. I think it's stevia, and I'm not a huge fan of stevia. I'll have to look and see if that's what it is, but that's what I'm getting there. So it starts off really strong, but as it lingers a little bit, it just has a flavor that I generally don't like. So we're going to move on to Wild Cherry Pepsi. Let's give it a whirl. So this is probably one of my favorite dark colas that's out there. Again, I can taste the Pepsi and the cherry, and it's a good blend of it. It's not too in your face with the cherry like the 7-Up was. But yeah, the carbonation is there. The flavors are outstanding. Yeah, I think I know which one I'm going to vote for here, but what do you guys think over there?
For me, the cherry Pepsi just tastes like normal Pepsi. Like I don't get that cherry taste in there. But like just like last time, these are two completely different sodas. Like it's gonna be a weird comparison.
I like it. I'm not getting like the cherry flavor I was expecting. In fact, it doesn't really have a lot of flavor at all. The thing I liked about the Jarritos was that it had a lot of flavor and it wasn't boring, you know. This one is just.
So after having that little fiesta in my mouth, like the like the cherry Pepsi kind of tasted boring because I couldn't really taste too much of the cherry, and it tasted more just like Pepsi, and that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree that for me, like, I got the Pepsi and the cherry, like my dad mentioned, like the blend of those two on my first sip, and then I sipped it a few more times, and it just tasted like Pepsi. There was, like, I didn't get enough of the cherry in the Pepsi, I guess. So I'm voting for Yarritos Lime, as Elliot said, the nuclear fiesta.
Yeah, I think I'll vote the Doritos Lime.
Yarritos.
Jarritos all the way.
You guys are all wrong. Like, just straight up wrong. Here's the thing. Your tastes are not refined like some of us more experienced people are.
Are you accusing us of not having a refined palate?
I am accusing every one of you of saying it tastes just like regular Pepsi, because when we get to the matchup that has regular Pepsi, you're going to see how drastically different they are. I am voting for Wild Cherry Pepsi, and I am crying tears of extreme sorrow deep in my soul because you guys don't know what goodness
Get over it.
tastes like. We'll be back with our next matchup.
Jarritos.
All right, our next matchup, Dr. Pepper, 23 delicious flavors versus a classic clear soda, Squirt. This is grapefruit flavored. We're going to start with the Dr. Pepper. And Grady, why don't you get us going? Tell us what you think.
Delicious. I love Dr. Pepper so much. But honestly, between Coke, Pepsi, and Dr. Pepper, like everybody says they're the same, but they're not. Like Dr. Pepper,
Nobody says that.
number one. Like,
Elliot just said it.
Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, I think, is really unique in the taste. It's just really different than what you'd expect in a soda, I guess. It's pretty good.
So Dr. Pepper traditionally is my favorite soda. I don't drink a lot of soda, but when I do, it's Dr. Pepper. And so, yeah, it's just a classic for me. Though I will say Dr. Pepper out of the plastic bottle is not the same as Dr. Pepper out of the can. And so this is actually slightly different than what I would traditionally be used to when drinking Dr. Pepper.
I don't like Dr. Pepper. And I know if you watched the last video, I voted for it last time. I don't know what I was thinking. That was a year ago. Dr. Pepper is probably one of the most mid sodas ever created. It's just the flavor, like I get the whole thing, like 23 flavors in one. It's one terrible flavor is what it really is.
Elliot, what do you think?
You don't need to listen to him.
I used to think that all sodas were the same until I tried Dr. Pepper, but it tastes like different. Like it tastes really good. It tastes fresh. It tastes fine. It's fine.
Love it. Elliot, why don't you try that squirt and then give us your opinion on that one?
It looks like Sprite. It tastes kind of like Sprite and lemonade mixed together.
That's where I'm at. See, Squirt is a soda I can get behind. Now, I love Sprite. Sprite is my favorite soda, and sadly was outvoted by Squirt last time. But Squirt, like Elliot said, it's like Sprite, but with a little less lime, so you get more of that lemon flavor, and it tastes like a lemonade. Squirt is just, again, light sodas. These lemon lime sodas, really good, so I like Squirt a lot.
So again, I go back to you unrefined people, because you are saying that all citrus tastes the same. Sprite is lemon lime. Squirt is grapefruit. Yes, it's a citrus, but that's
Well, I
like
didn't
saying
know that.
that's like saying orange juice tastes like lemon juice. No, it doesn't.
They're
There's a big
completely
difference.
different.
I didn't know
This-
Squirt was grapefruit.
Yeah.
Well, all you have to
And-
do is taste it. This tastes like grapefruit. It is delicious. It is a
No.
very solid mixture of sweetness. I thoroughly enjoy it, but it is not Sprite and lemonade mix because that's lemon, lime, and sugar. This is grapefruit. It's delicious.
I completely disagree with all of them. I think this is just a flat, they just took a grapefruit and did nothing to it.
That sounds
That's
incredible
what
to
it
me.
tastes like to me.
That's what I'm saying.
I do not like this at all.
So when I first tried this, the color put me off immediately. It's like, it's not clear. It's like this cloudy white, and it's just horrible. And then when I tried it, it's like, it's flat.
Yes.
It doesn't taste good. And I don't really like grapefruit, like, at all. But, like, it doesn't really taste like grapefruit to me. And it doesn't taste good either.
Eric, which one are you advancing?
Dr. Pepper.
Dr.
Grady?
Pepper.
Elliot?
Dr. Pepper,
Mason?
don't die.
You lose. It's Dr. Pepper advancing 4-1. We'll be back with our next matchup. All right, so we're in our final matchup of the Elite 8 of our bracket. And as you remember from the start of this video, instead of Coke Starlight, whatever it was, we advanced Coke Move. And unfortunately, in the last video 1 year ago, I had won a 6-pack of limited edition Crystal Pepsi. They used to make that a long time ago. They only made a limited run. They gave it away on a contest on Twitter. Anyway, all that has since been consumed or expired. And so because it tastes the same, it looks different, but it tastes just like regular Pepsi, we are putting Pepsi in its place. We're running Pepsi versus Coke Move. We're gonna start with Pepsi. Children with no refined taste next to me. You drink Pepsi and tell me it tastes exactly like cherry Pepsi. You're wrong.
Well,
Oh.
I will say it doesn't taste exactly like cherry Pepsi.
Tastes exactly like
but they are incredibly similar. Again, I don't believe that the wild cherry Pepsi had a lot of cherry in it. It tasted like Pepsi with a little bit of cherry. This, again, it's just normal Pepsi. And Pepsi's pretty good.
So I think that it does taste just like the cherry Pepsi. And it kind of has a weird aftertaste for me. I mean, like, I like Pepsi, but it's, like as Matt said, it's different in the can than in the bottle. So I think that some Pepsi tastes different to me, and that's what I gotta say.
That's fair. Grady, Eric?
Matt.
It tastes just like cherry Pepsi.
Okay.
Amen!
Okay. Matt,
Just like it.
you're right. It tastes slightly different because it tastes worse. It's really actually incredibly similar. I'm getting the difference, and I mean, I'm noticing that there's like less flavor, which I'm not happy about.
Yeah,
The
it's
aftertaste for me
the-
tastes the exact same.
the wild. This tastes better because there's not a flavor in it.
It's okay.
The wild cherry Pepsi to me flattened the soda a little bit. Without the extra flavor in here, this tastes brighter and sweeter.
I get that.
Okay, so my opinion on Pepsi, I agree, Eric. It does not taste as good as wild cherry Pepsi. It definitely tastes different, though. Yeah, I mean, it's Pepsi. It's a classic cola. I think the reason Crystal Pepsi advanced is because of the shocking nature of it tasting like this and being completely clear. And so this just kind of gets us back to, it's a standard cola. Yeah, it's all right. So let's try that Coke Move again. So this time I actually spent a little more time smelling this one than I did in the previous round. And honestly, it smells like cotton candy. So apparently, what does it say? It says transformation flavored. Apparently transformation tastes like cotton candy because they're transforming air and sugar into this fluffy joy of your childhood.
Transformation tastes like dental fluoride. It's
Actually, what's really funny is as he said dental fluoride and I took that sip,
tasted
I tasted
I
dental
tasted
fluoride,
it.
and that's ridiculous.
it's so
What
bad.
do you guys think over here?
Okay, I-
Any new information about Coke Move?
Guys,
and then
I-
you can vote.
I hate it more than I did last time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate it more also.
Like, it's like kind of like bubble
man.
gummy, but like,
Yeah.
I don't like bubble gum, artificial bubble gum flavor, and it just tastes like that. And it's also so flat, it's like drying out my mouth. I can't drink this, so I'm gonna finish it.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, so
I didn't
go ahead.
Yeah, so
Our producer in the room.
our producer in the room came over while Greg and Eric were talking about the word coconut to us. Like, close your eyes and imagine coconut. Both my dad and I took a sip. It tasted like coconut.
Okay, hold
it was so weird.
So maybe that's why they call it transformation flavored, is because the flavors transform as you think
Okay,
about
bro.
different
Why?
things.
So like if I picture a banana, will it taste like a banana?
Try it.
Let's
right
try
now.
it. Banana.
But guys, it doesn't taste good either
It
way.
still just tastes like that. All right.
I haven't
taste
given it.
the
It just
same
tastes
now.
bad.
Let's put it to a vote.
never-
I think I'm moving forward. Just a classic Pepsi. Grady,
Pepsi.
Eric.
I didn't want to do this, but like it's a super weak matchup, so Pepsi.
I'm with Pepsi.
I never got to share my opinion.
Oh, give me your opinion of Move, and then tell me what you're voting on, Elliot.
I actually felt like this Coke Move was better than the one before because this one was a lot fizzier than the last one. But because I got a really flat Pepsi and a very fizzy Coke Move, I'm gonna vote Coke Move.
I appreciate that. I think it was fizzier this time as well, but that's because the first one we poured and it sat for like 10 minutes. This one was poured and we drank immediately, and so I think that helped. Okay, that's it for the Elite Eight. We'll see you back here for the Final Four.